If there is ever an opportunity to unite this country after a tragedy, Donald Trump will always use it to divide us. The petty little baby who has spent months complaining about how dangerous democratic rhetoric is. Oh, us! Pointing out the fact that the guy who says he wants to be a dictator wants to be a dictator. Oh, so dangerous, spent all last night inflaming tensions and directing hate after 2 National Guardsmen lost their lives. But all Donald Trump could focus on is the blame game, is the disgusting, vile, racist rhetoric, and it is blown up in his face, which is why Carolyn Leavitt and the White House are now melting down. We are going to get into the lie that Trump was caught in, and why Leavitt is melting down. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way and supporting our work. Now, before we get into Carolyn Leavitt's meltdown of a response to Donald Trump getting caught in a lie, we gotta start with the full context of what happened yesterday, and how Donald Trump is racistly reacting.
Pete Hegseth announced that President Trump has ordered another 500 Guard members into D.C.
This happened just steps away from the White House. It will not stand. And that's why President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army to the National Guard, to add 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen, to Washington, D.C. This will only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we make Washington, D.C. safe and beautiful.
Now, those 500 new National Guard members would come on top of the already 2,188 Guard members already assigned to D.C. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force is leading the investigation into today's shooting, working to determine if it was an act of terrorism. The Secret Service is also looking into whether the shooter intended to target the White House itself or anyone under the Secret Service's protection.
It is impossible to take this administration seriously in responding to or pretending like they care about a tragedy, when they have demonstrated again and again just their level of blatant incompetence and how they are so ill-prepared to deal with anything. Kash Patel yesterday said that he would be tracking down this alleged assailant while he was already in custody, and this is the same guy who has moved. I can't even count how many FBI agents away from their post to go help ICE thugs or to help Donald Trump cover up the Epstein files. So I just don't buy into it when these guys pretend like they care. Because if they did, they would do their fucking jobs. And if they did care, they would respond with compassion instead of the hate that Trump was spewing last night. A lie, by the way. As always.
Of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling.
It was reported right after Donald Trump's speech that Trump approved National Guard shooting suspect's asylum. Law enforcement sources say that the suspect in an ambush near the White House was granted asylum in April. So, no, you can't just blame Biden and blame Biden and blame Biden. It is just such ridiculousness. And of course, the right is already saying that Democrats were hoping something like this would happen, that we're encouraging it, that we have to stop calling them fascist. You know what? Laura Loomer's response to yesterday was the crazy right-wing conspiracy nut that the just disgusting Botox. I don't even know if it's Botox at this point. She's a freak who spends all her time alongside Donald Trump. You know, her response was, she said on Twitter, "Yeah, I want a king." That is the response that these people have. They say, don't call us fascist, but we want a king. We want Donald Trump to be a dictator. It's insane. And that rhetoric is dangerous. Although they don't want to pretend, they want to pretend like it's not. Carolyn Leavitt wants to pretend. Like, it's not, while the White House was having their own meltdown when they were trying to do PR comms yesterday. Because Donald Trump got caught in his lie. Sick. Disgusting ghoul White House account unleashes on reporter after troops shot. An official account associated with the White House called a reporter stupid and a sick, disgusting ghoul for questioning Donald Trump's National Guard takeover of Washington, D.C., following the incident in which 2 National Guard troops were shot. This is so tragic, so unnecessary. These poor guardsmen should never have been deployed. What wrote Jane Mayer of The New Yorker on X in response to the news? I live in DC and watched as they had virtually nothing to do but pick up trash. It was for political show, and what a cost. Rapid response. 47. A public relations account for the Trump administration hit back in a fury, you sick, disgusting ghoul, said the account. 2 of these heroes were just shot in broad daylight. The Guard has saved countless lives, backed up by evidence which you are clearly too stupid to notice. They are American patriots. The 2 troops who were shot were initially reported as deceased, but this was later walked back, with sources saying they are alive but in critical condition. Details are still emerging about the arrested suspect, a 29-year-old Afghan named. However, some Republicans have already leapt on a political attack message, with Representative Andy Biggs blaming the attack on a group of 6 military veteran Democrats who released a video reminding troops they have a duty to refuse unlawful orders. It's always... I don't want to say it's funny to me, but it's just so gross to watch Republicans as Democrats try to process a tragedy and try to figure out how to stop it next time be blamed for politicizing the issue. Because when children are massacred in a school and we say maybe we need some gun control, they scream, "Oh, it's political. Stop making it political." But then they jump at the opportunity to say, "Well, I think we should just get rid of all trans people," which seems a lot more political to me and disgusting than maybe not wanting kids to get shot by weapons that 18-year-olds shouldn't have access to. Nobody should have access to. Why do you need a weapon of war? And they always want to say, "It's us, it's us, it's us, it's us." But Donald Trump has spent the past week and some change, threatening those Democratic members of Congress, sending death threats, wanting them hung. And you're telling me that the people who simply said do not follow illegal orders are those to blame. That's the rhetoric you're so scared of. And why are you so upset that they don't want troops to follow illegal orders? Why is that? Why is that something that's so unnerving to you? What do you need those troops to do illegally to protect your dear leader? To help move forward your fracturing coalition? What do you need them to do? It seems like a self-report to me. And so, that's why I've just so struggled with this. Because you can never take these people seriously. And honestly, I don't want to. It reminds me of the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk shooting when Kash Patel was pretending like this was his best buddy in the world, but it took him 48 hours to get to Utah. And after the shooting happened, he was like, "Well, I still gotta have my Penelope vodka. Like, I'm at an Italian restaurant. Maybe we'll do another bottle of red." All our fault rhetoric all for Donald Trump to say that Democrats are animals and disgusting freaks actually on that animals point. Donald Trump yesterday referred to this alleged assailant as an animal himself. And so, let's keep that in mind next time, that Donald Trump says Nancy Pelosi or Jasmine Crocker or AOC that they're an animal. He's lumping them in with alleged murderers. And so, when you say that our description of Trump as a fascist is dangerous, when you put it into terms that AOC wanting you to be able to afford a home, or for our planet to not burn up in the next 40 years, or for you to have free healthcare in the wealthiest country in the world, if you equate that to the existential threat of murder, and both of these people are the same, both of them are animals, what does that say about the place that Trump is putting democratically elected members of Congress into? He's putting them in grave danger. And we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that rhetoric again. I just find it laughable that these people who do nothing to keep us safe, and in fact, the opposite, who have torn up the FBI for their political gain, think that they get to tell us it's laughable. It is laughable. In fact, that they think that they get to tell us what's wrong with our rhetoric and what we need to fix, as they call us disgusting animals and dogs and whatever other word of the week it is for Donald Trump to attack Democrats with. And it really, just more than anything, maybe just reveals his weakness. And on this Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving. By the way, if you're having me in your home today, I appreciate it. I'd like maybe a little if you have some cornbread. If I'm gonna be on the TV, you're on your phone. If I could steal a little cornbread. I know this is an important topic that we're discussing right now, but if you could send me a plate, maybe that'd be nice. But on this Thanksgiving, I think we have to recognize that for all of Donald Trump's threats and his radical extreme lashing out recently, it represents his weakness. A weakness, I said yesterday, is something to put a smile on your face, and it certainly does. For me, right now, he is at the weakest point in his political career. And so, on this Thanksgiving, I am thankful that we have a coalition of people who are always fighting this administration, who are here to be engaged. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for this opportunity, and so we're going to keep on fighting with your support. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let him silence you. Happy Thanksgiving, and until next time, which will be later today, I'll see you soon.